Hey guys, this is RinKa Place and we're back at the Darkest Files game. And this should be, I think, episode 4 maybe? Morning.
Good morning.
You just said that. Who is coming in today?
Who are we expecting again today?
Mr. Wagner has let us know that he is running a little late. The man makes a good impression, if you ask me.
Okay, thank you, Wagner. Understood. So let's go to our office. What do we have here? A letter? Is that something new? Or the witness will arrive soon? Okay. I dug this up from the files regarding the trial of Mrs. Kazmarek. It appears as Julius was investigating Anna's background. Someone had been feeding him quite unsavory rumors. Oh, I can't understand anything. To the office of Julius Haas. During our investigation into Anna Kazmarek, we received the following anonymous letter. Whoever wrote it seemed to know the accused well. Perhaps looting was not the worst crime she committed. Having for years the displeasure of being acquainted with Anna Kazmarek, I feel morally obliged to inform your honor of her depraved character. Anna Kazmarek never had any regard for the law. She is a vile and evil woman. Her closest acquaintance, if not friends, are criminals. For over 3 years she was in the employ of one Walter Hens, a man who I am sure your honor does not know. For who would know a man who has women to do the unspeakable? I believe I am making myself clear as to what Anna Kazmarek's so-called work entailed. As a result of her prominent lifestyle, she has on at least one occasion committed a most heinous crime. She is a child murderer. Anybody who was ever in contact with her can attest to the fact that she maintains contacts to these Engelmasher people, these abortionists, these murderers. Abortionists, okay. Furthermore, I would like to bring to attention the purity of her blood, or the lack thereof. Anna Kazmarek claims that she is of Germanic descent, but I have heard from credible sources that in fact her parents were Poles. Anna Kazmarek is a slaw in disguise, which, I think, does help to understand the ease with which she could commit such vile acts. Thank you for your noble attempt to bring Anna Kazmarek to justice. As a result of her, she's a child murderer. Let's mark this. I think this might be important. Thus to the fact that contains abortionists, these murderers. So what else is interesting here? Closest acquaintance. To the office of Julius Haas. Was not her worst crime. Okay. Add to the case file. Sure. What else do we have here? Mr. Hens visited us earlier today. He apologized that he couldn't convince his wife to testify and said he found this old letter that could be of use. He asked that we treat it with care as it contains Anna's last words. Anna Kazmarek. After entering the prison, the prisoner is allowed to write a letter. Only after 3 months have passed may a letter be written and recovered at intervals of 4 weeks. The letters may not be larger in volume than this one. The above numbers must always be indicated on the envelope. Postcards and greeting cards will not be handed out. Visits are only allowed every 2 months if 3 months have passed after entering the institution. As visitors, only 2 persons are allowed: parents, grandparents, spouses, children, and siblings. ID card with photo must be brought. Visiting hours, visits by released or furloughed prisoners are cautioned. Mama, please forgive me. I never wanted for you to worry so much about me. You deserve a better daughter. But it is over now. When you read this letter, I will already be dead. They're coming for me very soon. Don't cry for me, I beg you. It is all right. I have made peace with my fate. My last thoughts will be of you and everything you have given me. Please give my love to Heidi and Wolf, and say sorry from me to dear old Mr. Wu? Mr. Housel, Mrs. Housel, forgive me for my carelessness. I was so sure the suitcase was yours. Your beautiful red scarf. I thought I would recognize it anywhere. They're waiting for me. I must stop writing now. I love you, Mama. I was so sure the suitcase was yours. So... did she actually steal the suitcase then? Your beautiful red scarf. Huh, that's a good question. Yeah, nothing interesting here. So that's it. That's an old letter, right? Not sure, but I'll read this after this.
Miss Katz. Otto Wagner is here, Miss Katz.
Okay, thanks.
Strange man. Doesn't look like an officer at all.
Why is that?
Our whole conversation, he was looking down at his shoes, like a schoolboy in trouble.
I'll find out what he knows. Thank you, Paula.
Okay, interesting. Wait, where? Okay, so I haven't read this letter before. So let's read it. Maybe it might be useful. Where is it? This one, yeah. Mrs. Scotts, I wanted to reach out once more and offer my apologies if I should have been awkward or less than helpful at the end of our meeting. I didn't mean to question, however, it may have appeared the validity of you and your esteemed colleagues' work in any way. On the contrary, I wholeheartedly agree with Dr. Bauer. We have a duty as a people to right the wrongs of the past, to truly put them behind us. It is the spirit of truth and reconciliation that I chose to write to you. I wanted to provide some more context about poor Anna. She had a very difficult lot in life. Parents who abandoned her, or city lost in the fire. She was forced to do unspeakable things in life. Things for which I may have judged her harshly back then, but which I now see were perhaps necessities of a life lived in a misery. From my heart, I thank you for a noble attempt to bring justice for Anna. Well, it seems fishy, like she has judged her harshly back then. So... I think that she might have to, be the one who will call the police. I don't know. Well, it's difficult. For now, we need more context. So let's go into the interrogation with the officer.
Mr. Wagner.
Let's thank him for coming, yeah?
Thank you for coming.
Just doing my part, Madam Prosecutor.
I wanted to talk to you about the case of Anna Kazmirek.
Oh, of course, yes. This one I remember all too well, ma'am. It was one of my very first cases.
Oh, okay.
Not the smoothest start to a career. Earlier that morning, we had received an anonymous call accusing Miss Kazmirek of theft. I was dispatched together with my superior, Mr. Novak, to investigate the claim.
Oh, okay.
What happened?
We found the place with no issue. The caller provided the exact address, one of the far too many shelters. We were welcomed by a tall young man, and the girl they let us in claimed to have been the callers.
Both of them, okay.
Can you describe the two of them for me?
Of course, ma'am. The boy was around my height, short, curly hair, blonde. Stood perfectly straight. It was clear from his demeanor he was the soldier type. He even made reference to being fellow servicemen for the country, tried to establish a rapport. The girl was shorter, 160, I'd guess. Pudgy, had long, bushy hair, dark brown or light brunette. And very well dressed. Made her seem out of place.
Do the names Wolfgang Kirchmann and Emilia Becker sound familiar?
Possibly. It's been a long time, ma'am. But they seem correct?
Oh, okay, I can start moving. Yeah, let's ask him additional questions.
What happened to you during the bombing?
I was in the streets. It was all hands on deck. But I can't really tell you any details, ma'am. That whole night is just one long blur.
Understandable, I guess.
What can you tell me about the shelter itself?
I admit I was taken somewhat aback when we got there, how dirty and run down the place was. And so full, stuffed, so many people, not enough space. It was one of my first times in a place like that. I grew used to them later, but not yet.
Anything else I could ask here? For now, not, I guess. Let's go into this room. I guess we'll be able to ask more questions. Oh, we can ask now.
What can you tell me about Mr. Novak?
A good officer, ma'am, and a kind man. He took me under his proverbial wing, taught me much about the job. They sure don't make him like him anymore.
Is he crying? Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, that was one of his jokes.
Or
Sure loved a good joke.
not. I don't
I've never
understand.
been good with them myself, though.
Weird.
Do you remember what exactly was reported?
The caller claimed to have witnessed the theft of what they described as a suitcase. They'd recognized the perpetrator as an acquaintance of theirs, Anna Kazmirek. They provided us with a name and address, but remained anonymous.
But you said they later on basically said that they identified themselves as scholars. Interesting. Okay, let's proceed to the main
Found the
story.
girl in one of the adjacent rooms together with a friend of hers.
This friend, would that happen to be a Heidi Grunewald?
Grunewald? Yes, that sounds about right, ma'am, yes. At the suspect's request, we allowed her to stay for the interrogation. A dumb mistake.
Why?
What did you ask her?
We tried to establish the basic facts of the case, ma'am. Mr. Novak did, mostly. Where was she at the time of the crime? What did she do? Could anyone confirm it? And the heavy hitter, of course, did she do it?
A mistake? And why is that?
This Grunewald girl, she tried to sabotage the investigation. Kept interrupting, arguing with us. She even tried to get the suspect not to answer our questions. Whatever it is she thought she was doing, she certainly wasn't helping her friend.
Did she admit to anything?
Hardly, ma'am. She was adamant she didn't even know what we were talking about. But she was unable to provide any conclusive proof. So we had to proceed to the next step, the search.
Okay. But could it be that this Mrs. I don't remember, Emilia, that she was the one who actually stole the suitcase and
Tell me about this friend.
Contemptible girl with
Anna
no
took
respect
the
for
blame?
authority. Medium height, freckled, blonde hair. She made it clear we weren't welcome from the moment we stepped into the room. Though with all that bravado, she couldn't hide her nervousness. Common trait among those with criminal history.
Okay.
If Novak was the one interviewing the girl, what did you do?
I took notes, ma'am. Somebody had to.
Do you have those notes now, I wonder then? Or do I have them already from somewhere? I don't know. Anything else I can inspect here? No, doesn't seem like so. Okay, let's
We
proceed.
requested that this Grunewald, was it? That she showed us, show me, to the suspect's room. Mr. Novak believed that would be where Miss Kazmirek would keep the stolen suitcase.
Did you find said suitcase?
Afraid I did, ma'am. Surprisingly quickly, at that. Poor girl simply wasn't made for it. She didn't hide it well at all, just left it under the bed.
So maybe the suitcase was
Is it possible that
hers,
it could
or
have
it
been
was planted, yeah.
Oh, this angle. That would be a stretch. There's always a possibility, but no, wouldn't say so in this case. There was nothing to suggest it.
Okay, let's investigate this area.
Were there any conflicts between the shelter's inhabitants?
Man, I've only been there for maybe not even an hour, over a decade ago. There had to be some tension since they did report the girl. Other than that, I cannot say.
Did you get any impression of the relationship between the boy and your suspect?
I can't say I did. He seemed to know her and He was angry at her. Honestly, ma'am, it's been a long time.
Angry at her, okay.
Can you tell me exactly what was in the suitcase?
Clothes, some documents. I can't say I remember everything anymore. You might have better luck checking the files, ma'am. It should all be there.
Checking the files. Okay, we'll do that. So there's nothing else for me left to inspect in here, I guess. Yeah, let's move to the main room then.
As soon as I left the room, I found the pair from before waiting for me. Becker and
Kirchmann.
Kirchmann, right. They recognized the suitcase. I didn't even have to ask about it. And what's more, they remembered an important detail.
What?
Just to confirm, you're sure they both accused Anna?
From what I can recall, ma'am, I'm fairly certain they shared the sentiment. They didn't think it was important before, but they remembered the suitcase was taken from a bombed house. Didn't think it important. It was crucial information. It meant we weren't dealing with a theft, but a looting. An act of treason.
What did you do with that information?
First of all, I wrote it down, ma'am, immediately. Looting was a significantly more serious crime, especially just a few days after the big bombing. They made quite a commotion. Even Mr. Novak leaned out to see what was happening. He seemed most pleased with the developments.
Most pleased, you say, huh? Okay. Anything new that appeared here? Yep, something.
Were you aware of any previous criminal history of the suspect?
Nothing. I believed she was perfectly clean. Up until this point, that is.
Okay.
I take it you hadn't been part of the force for long?
I'd just become a junior watchmaster earlier that month. That's why I was assigned to Mr. Novak. He'd remain my partner for years to come, but at that point it was me working under him. Learning the ropes, so to speak.
Okay. I got somewhere one more clue left to inspect, but maybe it will appear after this.
Mr. Novak wasn't done with the interrogation, but I knew he hardly needed my help. I took the suitcase, thanked the pair for their cooperation, and headed down to wait in the car.
Okay.
Did Miss Kasmirek admit to the crime?
She did, ma'am. She did. Gave us a signed confession even before Mr. Novak brought her down.
Mr. Wagner, I'll just ask the question. I have reason to believe Miss Kasmirek was coerced to give her testimony.
Coerced?
Tortured.
What? No, absolutely not. That would have been illegal.
Of course he'd deny it. But if I press him enough...
Let's press through her.
What about the friend, Miss Grunewald? Where was she while all this occurred?
Right, the friend. Yes, still in the main room, the kitchen.
Interrupt.
What?
Damn. Witness Amelia Becker arrived and went to investigate. Nobody entered Miss Kazmarek's room. Anna put the suitcase there. The one in charge escorted out of her room and entered Miss Kazmarek's, where he found told the officer that Anna was guilty of treason. He claimed the suitcase was. The older officer left with the suitcase while the younger began to beat Miss Kazmarek. That could be as evidence. What about this one? What happened? Hades. They took Anna with them and left two people there in a very bad state. A girl, Amelia Becker, and a boy I can't remember, I believe. Wait. And left the two people there in a very bad state. So what had happened? What's the case? The pigs barged in knowing they're sorry and determined to make it true no matter. They beat her, they tortured her until she said what they wanted. Well, let's go with this
Do
maybe.
you have any ideas why anybody would claim otherwise then?
Multiple, I suppose. Placing her away from, but then she... I don't know, ma'am. I might have misremembered this part.
Backtracking already. Just a little more.
Okay.
Just to be clear, you claim Anna Kazmarek confessed of her own will? She wasn't threatened, tortured, coerced?
Yes, that's right.
He's nervous.
As far as I know,
Let's interrupt. With this one, I guess, following in-depth investigation, following has been established in regard the person is weak-willed, impulsive, weak-willed. She is described as lazy. She has been associated with criminal, or even supported by her mother. Well, I guess it should be this one, right? Anna was forced to confess. But she's beaten. So let's submit this one.
What happened to Miss Kazmirek?
I'm not sure.
Her face. Where did the bruising on her face come from?
I don't know, ma'am. She might have fallen after we brought her to the station or got into an altercation in the holding cell.
Sure.
Would you disagree with someone describing you or Mr. Novak as violent?
Well, yes, of course. I know the reputation of our force at the time was not the best. But we did what we were the good ones. We served the people, the law.
Right.
After you left the apartment, did anything happen? Did you do or see anything you haven't told me about?
No, ma'am. Well, not that I can remember, at least. It has been quite some time.
Interrupt.
Is that so?
I guess it should be this one. Wait, what does it say? The little soldier boy is back. He's friends with that unreadable woman. Sometimes I hear them through the walls. Riddle found my mother rosary under the bed. She sounds upset. The baker girl. What about this one then? The caller alleged was in possession of a stolen. Due to the facts revealed in interviews, the charges had to be relevant to those against the nation. As the case was recovered, the temporary holding. Following the delivery of suspect, the junior watchmaster required the administration of first aid. Okay, let's submit this.
Can you explain why the police report mentioned one of you two requiring medical attention?
What? No, It's an embarrassing story, not even much of a story, really. I just fell backwards.
Both of you?
Flailed my arms and hit a wall. Quite hard. The boys at the station didn't let me live that down for a long time.
Mr. Wagner, I have multiple witnesses on the record who can confirm either you or Mr. Novak did torture Miss Kazmirek. Denying it won't lead you anywhere.
But I'm not. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't do it. I wasn't even there. If you're certain it happened, then it had to be Novak. If the girl was tortured, it had to be him.
Well, I do believe that maybe, he wasn't the one who tortured, but it probably was this other guy.
The pair who let you in, how did they get along?
They seemed like friends, from what little I saw.
That's it. Okay. So I believe there shouldn't be anything else left to inspect, so let's leave this area, yeah?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I wish I could be more of help, but again, I wasn't there. I didn't see what happened, but if you are correct and the girl was tortured, then it was Novak who did it. It would have to be him.
Doubt it. Let's go with that.
Do you doubt that happened?
I don't know, ma'am. I've known Mr. Novak for years, and he was a good man. Flawed, but good. I owe him so much of who I am today and his family. I don't want to believe he was capable of doing something like that.
But didn't you see any marks
And
exactly?
you didn't see any marks on Miss Kazmirek? Anything suggesting the beating?
No, ma'am. But I didn't really look. And there are ways to do it without leaving any marks.
Well, yeah.
Is there anything else you forgot to mention?
No, I don't think so, ma'am. After that, we brought her to the district office, and it was out of her hands. We couldn't have known it. We didn't know she would. It was out of her hands.
Very well,
Okay.
Mr. Wagner. Thank you for your time. That will be all for now.
It's the least I could do, ma'am. Really, I should have... I'm sorry I couldn't be more of help.
Miss
Okay.
Katz, there was a call for you from your father. They've landed.
Good.
I'll call him right back.
Miss Katz.
But then I need some things from you. Invite
I
next
need you to
witness.
invite the next witness.
Wolf.
The victim's boyfriend, Wolf Kirchmann.
Finally, this man gave me such a headache. By the way, I hope I'm not overstepping, but I had no idea you had a sister.
Where did this come from? Let's go with that.
What? Where did this come from?
Right, I'm sorry. I saw the photo of the two of you when I brought you the files today. No idea how I've missed it before. I must say, you two looked adorable. I wish I got along with my sisters like that.
Oh, back the memory lane again. So I don't even remember that I did have a sister. Did she die during the bombing?
Red studies. What's said? German history? You can stop trying, Fifth. You don't belong here.
Cool.
How about a lesson? Repeat after me. Nur für Deutsch. Hey, the hell are you looking at, Katz?
We're not sisters.
Oh, sorry.
She's a friend. Was. We've lost touch. The photo is a sort of memento.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I should probably get going.
And I should probably get back to Peter's damned files. Lovely.
Okay, but don't I have...
Miss Katz,
that's all. I thought maybe I will have like some documents to check with her, but no.
Who
To
do I
ask for
wanna call?
documents. Would if you want to call parents? Why are there two parents? Okay.
The line is busy.
What the
Well.
heck?
Bessie, hello. I almost forgot I called you.
Was flying as bad as people say?
You have no idea, dear. I'm really feeling that. What was the word?
Jet lag?
Time zone syndrome? I think so. It doesn't really give it justice, believe me.
Is everything alright?
Bessie, it's not like I only called you about bad things. Don't act like your mother. All's good. Don't worry. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know we are back home, safe and sound.
That's good to hear.
We really missed you there, Essie. It's a pity you couldn't get the time off. But I understand. Work. Especially for a man like Bauer.
Yep. But we have been over this,
Thought
yeah.
We've been over this already.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. I'm sorry. It's that I know Bauer is a workhorse, even in our line of work, and I'm sure he expects the same of his people. Look, I'm not going to pretend I like the man. I don't.
Please.
But I've accepted your choice, and frankly, I'm proud of you for making it. Believe it or not.
Thank you.
You believe what he's doing is right. I may disagree, but sometimes what you need to do is ignore what an old geezer says. And just do what is right. I'm proud of you, kid.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
Yeah, I guess let's do it. We don't want yet to examine this until we hear maybe from the last story. So, yeah, let's end the day. Oh, wow. It even said die on the windows. Nice. Amazing. Each day the same. The boyfriend. Okay, okay. Oh, we have something new here. But it's again related to sports.
Good morning, Miss Katz.
Morning.
Miss Katz, good morning.
Morning. Oh, doesn't have anything else to say. Okay. So let's check the documents. Mr. Wolf Kirchmann will arrive soon. Mr. Peters wants to talk to you. Skoptven, I suggested he can ask you himself. Mr. Bauer requested an update after the last witness. Asked me to remind you about the warrant. Okay. Frankfurters. Okay, so let's go speak to Peters, I guess. Oh. Okay.
Miss Katz, Wolfgang Kirchmann has arrived.
Well, is he ready?
What's your impression of him?
He's obviously uneasy. He's in his army uniform and appears quite agitated.
Hardly surprising. High time. I'm coming.
Okay. Let's go and speak with him.
Mr. Kirchmann,
Oh.
good morning.
Okay, he looks a lot
The rank
different.
is Hauptmann.
Oh, wow. We're not military. Well, yeah, let's go with that.
Mr. Kirchmann, this is a civil matter. Your military standing isn't relevant.
Relevant or not, it is my rank, and I'm entitled to be addressed with it.
Bastard.
I didn't bleed into the order for a paper pusher to Mr. Me.
Okay, whatever.
I wanted to talk to you about the case of Anna Kazmirek. I believe you're familiar.
Yes, I am. Haven't you all done enough to her?
V?
I need you to tell me about Anna's arrest.
Very well, since you need me to. It hadn't even been a week since the Brits left the town on fire. We were all there. Anna and Heidi, a friend of ours, had just returned from work.
What happened then?
What happened? You know it damn well already.
No, not really. But okay.
Did you salvage anything from your old home?
No, of course not. We had just evacuated all those places. Scavenging them would be highly illegal.
I didn't ask about scavenging, just...
I didn't.
Okay, understood, clear.
How would you describe Heidi's relationship with Miss Kazmirek?
Closer than sisters, those two. Inseparable. Except for when Anna was with me, of course.
And why were you at the shelter on that particular morning?
I was visiting Anna.
Could you be more specific?
I was there to check on Anna and help her in whatever way I could. She was tired after her shift, she and her friend. I offered to take care of them. I do not expect a woman of your position to understand it, but she did just lose her home.
No, from my position, okay. Okay, I guess we're done with that area. Anything to ask here? Not yet. Ah,
I'd say it was rare for a soldier not to be in active duty at the time. What were you doing in Brunswick?
What was I doing? I was back from the front. My friend's dead, my city gone. What was I doing? You tell me.
okay, calm down.
Tell me about Heidi.
Anna's best friend. Only friend. Other than me. Hot-headed, loud-mouthed, headstrong. Always had to be right. That she had in common with Anna.
What did a regular day at the shelter look like?
I'm hardly the right person to ask. I didn't live there. Wasn't there all the time. I only visited when I could see Anna.
Okay, clear. Anything I can ask here now? Yes, something?
What can you tell me about Emilia?
A snake. A proud one too. Always thought herself better, above everyone else.
But you were friends. No, I don't understand. You were both the ones who called the cops. Anything here to ask at this moment? No, not really. Okay, let's proceed with the main story.
I had just stepped out to the kitchen when she started it all. Becker, that snake. I could hear her out in the hallway on the phone.
Did you hear what she said?
Not enough to understand her plan. She was talking with the police, reporting a stolen suitcase. If only I had heard her say Anna's name.
Okay.
For once, the officers didn't take long to arrive. Figures. 2 of them, protective police. A tall, weedy imbecile, and an older man with a mustache. He seemed to be in charge. I tried to stop them, asked them what was it all about. Why were they there? They were less than forthcoming.
What next?
Becker pointed them to Heidi's room. They locked themselves in with the girls, refused to let me join them. And I was so busy worrying about them, I didn't even think I should keep my eye on Becker.
Why? What did you do?
She sneaked off to Anna's room with that damned suitcase. I should have noticed, realized it. I should have stopped her. What a fool I was.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much time had passed before they opened the door. The tall one, he dragged Heidi out to the kitchen. He was done with playing nice.
What did he do?
He shoved Heidi towards us, hurling threats and insults. Pathetic. He demanded we told him which room was Anna's. Becker didn't hide her excitement as she showed him.
How did everyone else in the kitchen react to this?
Heidi was livid. She was screaming at that Schupo boy, daring him to lay one finger on her. She knew it wasn't right what they were doing to Anna. Oh, and Becker was smiling that little, arrogant smile of hers. How could I have been so blind?
The
What do you
officers?
remember about the officers?
The older one reeked of cigarettes, had a mustache, glasses, was clearly the one in charge. How a person with that little respect for his duty got to his position is beyond me. As for the tall imbecile, an insecure greenhorn trying to put on airs, desperate to prove his authority. All that while looking as if he never hit puberty. Would have been funny if not for...
Oh, he will not finish speaking.
Was there anybody else in the house at that time?
I can't account for everyone. These were cramped quarters. But Becker, Grunwald, Anna and me, we were around.
Okay.
What happened to you during the bombing?
My family was lucky enough to quickly find their way to one of the bunkers. Myself, I didn't join them. With all hell breaking loose, I stayed to help evacuate the others.
What regarding this?
How were the tasks divided among the people in the shelter?
They had some system, but I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Each day there were different tasks Anna would have to do, both for herself and her mother. I took over whenever she'd let me.
Okay, that does align with what others did say, I think. Okay, so far nothing else to examine in this room. What about this one? Yeah, something.
Did Miss Kazmarek have any previous encounters with the police?
No. My Anna was nothing like that.
Okay. Wait, what else? Oh, this one?
Where was her father?
Dead. Passed away when Anna was 5. She told me she could barely remember him.
Oh yeah, she was young.
What did the Kazmareks have with them?
Not a long list. And in all honesty, at this point, I don't even remember.
Tell me about Teresa Kazmarek.
She seemed a kind woman. Weird, withdrawn, but kind. The few times she actually spoke with me, she told us some stories from back wherever she was from. Somewhere east, would be Poland.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about the conflict between Miss Kazmarek and Emilia?
The snake hated her, and that's putting it mildly. I don't know why, but she really did, to the point of wanting her dead.
Damn.
To the point of getting her killed.
What can you tell me about your family's situation before the bombing?
Nothing that would concern you. I'd only just returned to the city, got a leave from service. Spent most of that time with Anna. All the time she could spare.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Miss Kazmarek?
What am I supposed to say? The hell do you want to hear? We were together, in love, planning to get married once all that nightmare was over. We were happy.
How did Miss Kazmarek come to know Mr. Hens?
She used to work for him, same with Heidi. He was quite a well-known man among the locals, respected, dependent. From what I've heard, he took in Anna's mother after it was all done.
You said the Kazmareks were from somewhere east?
Yes, their origin was important for her, having grown up on her mother's stories. She always said she wanted to visit their former hometown. The way she talked about it sounded like she even wanted to live there.
Okay, that's it. I thought something else will be followed. Okay, let's go into the main story again.
So there we were, me, Heidi, and Becca. 3 friendly neighbors, just waiting for the sky to fall. At least the 2 of us. For Becca, it must have been Christmas. What could we do? All we needed was one good look at Becca to understand the whole thing. It was her. She planned all of it. This was how she finally got rid of Anna.
What makes you so sure it was all part of Emilia Becker's plan?
You weren't there. You didn't know her like I did. She was beaming, radiant, just full of herself. A pity we didn't get the time to confront her.
Okay.
Why? What stopped you?
The police boy came out of Anna's room, grinning. He had a suitcase. The suitcase.
What did the 3 of you do then?
Becca struck immediately. Said the suitcase was hers, that Anna took it from her house, from the ruins of her house. That Anna was a looter, a traitor to the nation. And Heidi? She kept it together. As soon as she heard Becca's lies, she took off to get help. Smart. Wish I could say the same about myself. It didn't change anything in the end.
Okay, the suitcase then?
The suitcase. What can you remember about it? Had you seen it before?
No, never. No one's ever seen it before. No one.
Except this Emilia, right?
What was your relationship with Emilia Becker?
There's nothing to talk about.
But you did know her?
Yes, of course I did. It was hard not to know the snake. But there was no relationship to speak of.
Okay.
Were there any conflicts between the shelter's inhabitants?
Other than the Becker snake and her vendetta against Anna? No. Not that I know of.
Clear. That's it then for this room, I guess. Nothing new should have appeared here, so let's continue.
Then it's all a blur. Like when I was at the...
Front?
Couldn't think straight. Couldn't really think at all. I remember barging into Anna's room.
Why?
Why did you go to Anna's room?
I was trying to find something, anything to prove she was innocent, that it was Becker all along. She must have left something behind. She had to. I tossed around everything, pulled out every drawer.
Okay, and what did you find?
Anything to prove Emilia Becker meddled with Anna's room?
No, of course not. We wouldn't be sitting here if I did.
So there should be something new left to inspect. Well, yeah, I see the bed, but okay.
Hauptmann Kirchmann, I have to ask. Is it possible Anna did in fact loot something?
I'd appreciate if you stopped insulting her memory. And no, it's not possible.
Okay. So I guess that's kinda it.
Next thing I know, I was back in the kitchen. Alone. And I could hear them.
You say them. What did you hear exactly?
Behind the door. Behind the damn door. They wailed on her. Both of them. Again and again. They called her trash, a looter, a whore, a parasite, a pest. The walls there were so thin, I could hear it all.
I apologize, this must be very difficult, but did you see Anna Kazmarek when she came out of the room?
I did. I had to carry her out. She was barely conscious.
Both of them?
Face. Anna's face. They must pay.
Okay, time?
How long did that beating last?
I don't know. I don't know.
Was anybody else still there?
It's fuzzy. I don't think so, no.
What then? Did you do anything?
No. No. We're done here. We're fucking done here.
Okay.
Is this a joke to you?
No, what the
Before
heck?
you furiously storm off, there's one more document I'd like to ask you about.
I'm not.
You will want to see it. According to it, you already admitted your guilt.
So it was which one? This one, right? Or no, this is Mama. Potential police were subject. Yeah, it will be this document then. It's where he said that it's your fault. The father, Kirchmann. Here we go. Yeah, let's
Can you
submit.
tell me what this man is referring to? This man, your uncle. Did you contact him about Anna's arrest? Did you ask him to help her? Cover for you? What is this plan he refers to?
Idiot.
Excuse me?
She had it all planned and I... Idiot. I have nothing to say to you. You have your proof. I just hope you have enough for that snake as well.
So he
I
was
feel like there's still
definitely
something missing. I should
part
give more
with
thought to the
Emilia.
house search idea.
Huh, yeah.
Miss Katz.
Thank you, Paula.
So, wait, let's go a little bit inspect the documents. What do we have here? We have a transcript. I want a transcript. Wait, this is Emilia, right? Yeah, I don't need her. That's this guy, Wagner. As I returned to the kitchen, everyone had left except for blah blah blah. Do I have all the backgrounds that I need? I guess. You know what I would like to check? Like the rank of claws. Had, I don't know, more stripes? Like it was this one, I think. Wait, which one is he? Second? I think no. Wait, how did I do it? Anna Kazmarek. Okay, it should be 2. Wagner should be 3. Glass should be 2, 3. Yeah, I just a little bit mixed things up. This should be 2 again, because everything related with Anna I wanted to do as 1, right? So, yeah. Yeah, that's how I did it initially. At least tried to. So, yeah, he has these bigger stripes on his uniform, I guess. So the background is this one, senior watchmaster, and the other guy. Huh. Whoops. Come on, where is it? So it's this one, senior watchman. It's just simple guy, I guess. He was this one, as far as I understand. Yep. Okay. Suspects. Yeah, all is clear, all is good. We could actually identify the other ones as well, but let's leave it for now. So let's maybe try to go here finally to understand who the heck did call the police on Anna. I was with Anna in my room in the office. In my room? Grunwald. Let's preview her story. So, Heidi. She says that Becker did call. I and were in the kitchen when the officers arrived. Wait, Novak, yes. Who called the police? Wagner, not important at this stage. And I were let into the apartment by a pudgy girl, after which a tall young man told us that he had reported a crime. Anna and I, Heidi, were in Heidi's room while Emilia were in the kitchen. When the officers arrived, Emilia said that she had called them. When I heard through the walls how Emilia led them into the kitchen, thanking them for answering her report. Well, she was in a valid location. She was the one who called. I think that's how it should be then. Calls the police. Wait, what the heck is happening? It's a little bit broken. Yeah, I want to go to the second one. Wait, I do also have the evidence. Who planted the suitcase? Leads. Wait. The victim. The arrest order, he was taken as hostage. Yeah, that's the old case. What do we have here? Very official, yes. Had friends among the police that didn't help with Anna's arrest. He can be a witness, wasn't there. It all repeats again. Okay, let's go to our case file. We have this one, yes. Female caller. Reported incident of missing items. Officers is found. No suspect could be found. Suspect found and apprehended. Female caller. Male caller reported incident of theft following the bombing. Named suspect. Suspect apprehended. Confessed to the crime. So is this also relevant? That's the question, you know? Because... Wait, I can't mark stuff here anymore. Why? Okay, shows transcript. The Becker girl is on the phone. She sounds upset. The toilet is clogged. Huber. Boy is back. He is friends with that Ka woman. Sometimes I hear them through the wall. Disgusting. This one. A little girl came home drunk, woke me up. I'll give her hell in the morning. Is taking up the phone. Why is he always here? 10:28. Well, this sounds very interesting because... What the heck? Let's mark 4 as the boy. From now on. That soldier boy is taking up the phone. Could this be 4 as well? Let's do this as 5. Well, the Becker. What do we have here? Yeah, it's strange that I cannot mark these ones as well. Photos, yeah, okay. We do have that already. We did have this. We do know about this. What's this? We received the following anonymous letter. Perhaps looting was not the worst crime she committed. I'd like to bring attention to the purity of her blood. Who did write this, I wonder? Good question. I can't mark here anything for some reason. Okay, very strange. Like previously I was able of marking things, now I can't. I don't understand. How does this work? I can't mark anything here as well. I can now mark here things, so weird. What does it say? I found a suitcase and stole it. Questionable. Following the bombing, which I knew where she kept her valuables. Confessed to the crime of looting. Yeah, doesn't look very nice. Okay, let's try to continue to do something here how it all should have been. So we'll call the police, that's clear. Plans this. Both officers interrogated Anna while Emilia used the distraction to plan the suitcase. Okay. Both officers went to hail this room. Okay, we proceeded. As the officers locked themselves in with Anna, Emilia planted the suitcase in her room. But what were he was doing? Doesn't like make sense, right? So she... Okay, maybe we'll later on to check this. Who searched Anna's room and confiscated the suitcase? Novak forced me out into the kitchen and went to search Anna's room. Grunwald then goes here. and went to search Novak. But the older officer with a kind smile escorted Haiti into the kitchen. Then he proceeded to search the older guy, so Novak. I escorted the suspect's friend out in the kitchen and went to search her room. The taller officer pushed Heidi out of her room and went to search Anna. Anna's. So, what the heck? I have two guys saying that it was the older guy. Wait. Novak forced me out and into the kitchen and went to search Anna's room. The older officer with the kind smile escorted Heidi into the kitchen, then he proceeded to search Mrs. Kazmerek's room. Older guy as well. And he says the taller officer. And went to search Anna's room. Novak forced me out into the kitchen and went to search Anna's room. Well, I think it will be him then. Search his room. I think that is how it was. Because he would lie, Wagner. But why would he lie? No. Yeah, that kinda makes sense. What about this one? I trust Grunwald for some reason. Well, she was the friend, I guess that's why. Wagner isn't saying anything. Kirchmann is saying this, and Grunwald is saying that Becker was the one who did something with this. Can we assign actually two callers? No. Okay. The fourth one, who made sure Anna was considered a traitor. As Novak entered the kitchen, Amelia started lying about Anna's supposed crime. As Novak entered the kitchen. Wait, why is he there? Kirchmann. Seeing there was nothing we could do, I left to get help. Made sure was considered a traitor. Becker, of course. Heidi left the apartment shortly before the older officer came out of the room holding the looted suitcase. Mr. Kirchmann started accusing Miss Kazmerek of terrible crimes. Mr. Kirchmann? After finding the suitcase, I was accosted by the pudgy girl and the young man who reported multiple other crimes of the suspect. Amelia started to badmouth Anna as soon as the officer started. Yes. But it just doesn't make sense with this officer. This makes sense. This kinda does as well. I believe that she went to get help. Started accusing of terrible crimes. I don't think so. Becker, Wagner is saying two of them started accusing. I don't think so, because then Grunwald would have said that in her confession as well. But I think, yeah, it should be Novak who was here and Wagner was the one in Heidi's room. Probably. And then we beat Anna for confession. I was running down the stairs. I heard the officers start beating Anna. The older officer left the apartment, and I heard the younger one start torturing Miss Kazmerek. I left the apartment for the car. I didn't see it, but Mr. Novak tortured the suspect into confession. When I returned to the kitchen, everyone else was gone. Both officers had locked themselves with Anna and were torturing her. he didn't saw the officers. She didn't saw the officers. The older officer left the apartment, then I heard the younger guy. I think, yeah, it was probably the younger guy. Because he didn't see anyone. I don't know, let's check how all of this makes sense. Becker calls the police. Plans loot. Noah goes out, yes. Searches the room. Talks. And it should be that Grunwald leaves. When I return to the kitchen, yes. The older officer left the apartment. Okay. Like this. Yeah, something like that, I guess. So I think we're kinda done. What can we do here? Who called the police on Anna? Okay, but I could get more documents. Let's go then to this Bauer and ask to search Wolf's house. Maybe we will find more evidence then, I think.
Good. I hope the investigation's proceeding apace.
Let's say interview to the last
I
suspect.
finished interviewing our last witness, Mr. Kirchmann.
Oh, please don't keep me in suspense. Did our military friend prove helpful in the end?
I don't know. No and yes. So, no?
Less helpful than I would have wished.
Yeah.
Some interesting details, but I did hope for something more concrete. Especially with how much of a headache getting him to testify has been in the first place.
Yes, he did not make it easy on our Mrs. Fisher. Still, every testimony has its value, and I have full trust in your capability to find it. Very well then, I assume the reason for your visit is the warrant we discussed? To have one of the witnesses' houses searched?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Bauer.
So I understand you have a finished theory on what had actually happened on the day of the arrest.
Yes, but I'm suspicious.
I'm just particularly interested in one of my witnesses. I suspect they know more than they let on.
I see. This is the only chance, Miss Katz. We will not be able to get a warrant for another house search. I suggest you make sure your decision is the correct one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure of my decision, Mr. Bauer.
Very well, I'm listening. Who should we get a warrant for?
That's a hard one, actually. Damn, I think it should be. I have three guys in mind. It should be Amelia Becker, Wolfgang, or Otto Wagner, the officer. It's very difficult. But wait, Wolfgang, if we search his apartment, maybe we would be capable of finding that letter which he wrote to his father, because we only got a response. So let's do that. Let's search his house.
I want Wolfgang Kirchmann searched. Anna Kazmarek's former boyfriend.
Let's see what comes of it. Good luck, Miss Katz.
Thanks. I hope my choice was correct. So what do we do now? Talk to Peters. Okay.
Heard you have something interesting.
Oh, Katz. Good. Yes, but I don't even know where to start. Best see for yourself.
Again with this case?
It wasn't filled out. What am I looking for?
Keep looking. Check the others.
Auschwitz concentration camp.
Are they all empty?
And
Wait, is that a signature?
keep going.
Wu's signature.
So,
And they were pre-signed.
They didn't sign off on false information.
they signed off on no information.
A list in blanco for the wardens to fill out however they wanted. A free ticket to cover up any murder. Any number of murders.
It's incredible. I can't... No. Actually, I can very much believe it. Of course that's what they do. Anytime a prisoner was killed for whatever reason, they had this. All that was needed was just to write a lie, and it's already certified. The guards, the administration, the judges, everyone was in on it. Everyone is complicit.
What now?
Then what now?
Now I have to go to Poland.
Poland? Why?
Why's that?
That's where these files are from. Breslau. I need to talk to the man who found them. See if he can tell me anything more. If I'm lucky, he might even have some more of these. I also plan to interview a few of my potential witnesses there. I've run into some trouble trying to get them here, so... What's the saying? If the mountain won't come to Muhammad.
Well, good luck, yeah.
What can I say? Good luck.
Thanks. I'll need it. The flight is this Saturday. Sorry I won't be there to see you embarrass yourself in court.
Embarrass?
While I'm gone, I asked Paula to give you any files that would arrive for me.
Trust me?
Wait, wouldn't that mean you trust me?
Don't push it. Now, if you don't mind, there's still a lot to do before I leave.
Right. Peters?
Cuts. Wait! Thank you.
Let's go, you're welcome.
Right. Good luck with your case, Cuts.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
Yeah, well, let's do that. Maybe we'll get something out of that warrant, so we'll see. I do hope that I did choose correctly, because I have actually no clue. Yeah, I had those three guys on mine, but yeah, how could I know? Traitor? Oh wow, nice. Cool people. The outcome, okay. So, do we have anything from the warrant?
They completed the search.
Okay.
Oh, and there's a new anonym for you.
Anonym?
Sorry.
A letter, you mean?
Did they find anything?
It would seem so.
Oh, nice, that's
I'm
good.
told they found it in the top drawer of his nightstand. To think he still kept it after all these years. You'll probably want to read it yourself.
Okay.
I will. Thank you, Paula.
Good, and what did she also... Oh,
Thank you.
never mind, she didn't mention
Let's see
anything.
about that anonym.
Anonym?
More death threats is exactly what I need now.
Okay, let's
It's
check.
nothing short of a confession. Why, who could have sent this?
What's this? Dearest mother, dearest father, dear God, I doubt, no, I am sure that this letter will never reach its destination. We are surrounded. The city lies in ruins. We hide in the citadel and wait for it all to end. I will die tonight, and if not tonight, then soon. The Russian bullets have made sure of that. I can feel my life fading. Before I pass on from this world, there are things that were left unsaid. I will say them now. Father, mother, I wish I could have been a better son, more caring, more kind. Forgive me. Emilia Becker, I curse you. I curse your wretched life with my dying breath. I hope that you will never find happiness and joy again. I hope you die. I hope you suffer. My Anna, I am sorry. I know now you could never have done all these dreadful things, but I believed her. What a fool I was. Do you remember when the bombs fell, when the city burned? I wish I had never escaped the flames. I wish I never lived. I wish we had more time. I'm sorry, my beloved Anna. Soon I will be gone. I only wish there was a place for me where you are, but I know there is not. Farewell, Wolf. Okay. And this? Yeah. Should prepare the blueprint for the trial. Mr. Bauer asked to see you once you're done with the case. So, okay. Let's go through this again. Who called the police on Anna? Well, we can't say that both of them called the police, but actually it could be. I think that he was there. Yeah. Kirchmann. Yeah, he definitely. Who planted the suitcase in Anna's room? It was Becker, definitely. Because she saw her. I trust her. Good. Novak forced me out of the room and went to search Anna's room. I trust her as well. The taller officer pushed Heidi out of her room and went to search Anna's. Well, this I do not know. Who the heck, did all of this? Well, we made sure Anna was considered a traitor. As Novak entered the kitchen, Emilia started to, as soon as the officer came out with the suitcase, hoping to stop her. After finding the suitcase, Heidi left the apartment shortly before the older officer came out of the room holding the looted suitcase. So two guys are saying, that's again, it's bad. I don't know who to trust. But I think he was the one beating her. Because it was said that he needed to go through a medical assistance.
Hello. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Well, a little bit.
I'm just finishing up with my investigation.
Oh, I'll be quick then. I wanted to wish you good luck.
Thanks.
I've kept my ear out about your case, and it's a tough one. I'm impressed with how well you have been handling it. Impressed and a little bit worried.
Worried?
Why are you worried?
Essie, honestly, you're smarter than this. It's one thing to go after NSDAP like last time, but the police? An officer in active duty, no less. Not to even mention the military man, Kirchmann, was it? You're not making yourself many friends with this case. But before you start, I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing this. I'm just worried.
Thanks, I guess.
Thank you. That's kind of you to say.
It's the truth, Essie. I am proud of you.
You've been saying that a lot lately. Is everything alright?
Yes, of course. I've simply come to realize I've never said it enough, and I should have. I'm proud of you, and nothing can change that.
Okay.
Alright. Now to see what Mr. Bauer wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I just firstly want to go through this as well. We'll call the police on Anna. So let's go through these bookmarks so we can submit this one. Suspects. Well, this says actually is the soldier guy, but I don't know. Wait, where is the transcript? Amelia Becker. I heard Mr. Kirchmann calling the police from the line and corridor, accusing Anna of theft. How did you learn of this? Came to ask me. The police had come to shelter. They were trying to force a confession. Hell, they led me to their place. I heard Amelia Becker using the phone in the hallway to call the police, lying about Anna being a thief. Let's submit this one as well. And where is it? Transcript. We arrived and we were welcomed well-dressed girl and with the two claiming to have been the callers. I saw Amelia Baker use the common phone to report Anna to the police. Let's submit this one as well. I think that's how it should be.
Now I can see it.
Who planted the suitcase in Anna's room? Let's go through this. Suspects, and there shouldn't be anything here. I asked her to. I asked that, did you really think yourself her savior or her hero? Well, this could kinda align. Well, this is regarding Anna. What was this? On the contrary, we have a duty as the people to Mr. Katz. What was it? Amelia Baker. Well, she will not, I kinda guess, admit that she did it. So, this one we can submit. Officer arrived. Amelia used the distraction to plant the suitcase. Then, transcript. He said the same thing, right? Entered Anna's room and planted the suitcase. Submit. We can also use, you know what? Arrest report. Recover the following objects. Letter suitcase. Report. I don't know. Who planted the suitcase? That's what we were trying to figure out. Well, nothing here actually. Hero, contrary, blah blah blah. It will be because of you now. No, and remember, there's at least a lesson here. I think it could be this one. I hope you suffer. But I believe her. I don't know, maybe this one, but let's search for another one. Is there anything from the old case that says something like that? Forgive me for my carelessness. I was sure the suitcase was yours. Your beautiful red scarf. I thought I would recognize it anywhere. They are waiting for me. I must stop writing now. Beautiful red scar. And the possessions. Is there a beautiful red scarf? There is. Clothing, red. So that's what I don't understand. Okay. And the interview against the suitcase was recovered from the suspect's room. And a cosmetic was admitted. Yeah, okay, let's combine these. I guess they could more or less work. Who searched Anna's room and confiscated the suitcase? So let's use the transcript. The older officer escorted out of a room and entered Miss Kaferek's room. Let's submit this. Then this one, transcript as well from Heidi. The mustached officer pushed me out of my room and had me shown where then he found a suitcase planted by Amelia. Then, what is it? I think it could be this one. The watchmaster recovered the following objects. At the temporary lodging, the officers identified to that effect from the robber precinct senior watchmaster, the watchmaster. And who is the watchmaster? Senior watchmaster, junior watchmaster. Does it say who? The watchmaster only. Okay. The special court guilty German. The verdict is given for the victim. Blah blah blah. Even the youth could be a report general prosecutor and depth investigation into the background. The following has been established in the regards of the nature of the person, whoever present of time. She is described as lazy. He has been. Those descriptions are even supported by her own mother. I don't know. Anything else? He says it was him. He says it was the tall officer. Well, I try to find out something to prove Amelia's lies. Background. Well, I guess we could try to go with this one. The watchmaster recovered the following objects. Watchmaster. Or is there anything else? Well, let's try to go with this. I don't know.
It must have been like this.
Who made sure Anna was considered a traitor? So, let's go through that transcript. Whoops, I accidentally closed it. So, her told the officer that Anna... No. Amelia claimed Anna had looted the suitcase. This one, submit. Then another one, transcript. Amelia changed her accusation to that of treason, telling the officer she saw Anna loot a suitcase from her ruined home. The pair will let us in approach and inform me that the suitcase was in fact looted from a ruined building, making the crime a case of a treason. Change to that of treason. But I guess he should be the one onto this as well. I think whoever elevated the charge must have really hated her. Yes. Do we have anything else? Female caller. Looting witness at bombed residential area. I don't know, we could submit this. Combine.
This makes sense.
Who beat Anna for a confession? I think, yeah, it was the older guy. So transcript. Left with the suitcase while the younger began to beat. Yes. Then here. Claimed Anna had looted the suitcase from ruined house. The pair will let us in. Did the suitcase? No. Amelia changed her acquisition to that of treason, telling the officer she saw Anna loot the suitcase from her ruined home. Heidi left to get help while I tried to find something. Okay, where's that background which says... Wait, the old case has admitted to a temporary holding cell to await trial. The junior watchmaster required administration of first aid. The junior watchmaster. These descriptions are even supported by her mother. Wait, was there a second guy who said that someone beat her? Older officer left, saying it made a traitor. I left trying to get help. Wait, which record do I have from who? Amelia Becker. Okay, I have it from Becker. Because she doesn't know who it was. I heard both policemen. Torturing her? No. For the officers who returned to Anna's room and had began torturing her. Well, he doesn't know as well. Combine as well, I guess.
Now I can see it.
Okay, I guess we're kinda done. I don't know. I'm just not sure about this Kirchmann's involvement. I think both of them called, but Heidi would definitely not be lying that this Wolfgang didn't say anything like here. Who made sure Anna was considered a traitor. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's leave and go talk to Bauer.
Miss Katz, thank you for coming. I understand the case is ready for court.
Well, I hope so.
Yes, Mr. Bauer.
That's good to hear. Miss Katz, I won't dance around the topic. I have an important question for you. Why are you here?
What do you mean? Yeah, I don't understand.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You've always known this job would not be easy or grateful. And by now you're sure to have noticed that what you knew didn't even begin to cover it. People hate you. They want to see you fail. Celebrate every hurdle in your path, curse and discredit every hard-won success. Hardly an inciting prospect for a promising lawyer of your intellect. And, let's face it, one blessed with the connections of your father. With all the options open to you, why did you choose to join the most hated man in Frankfurt?
It's the right thing. Let's go with that.
As you said yourself, it's the right thing to do.
And for me, that remains true. But is it for you, Miss Katz? Is it really?
Let's say I had a
I
friend.
had this friend growing up. Her name was Lotte. Charlotte Lang.
And she was Jewish.
The Langs were our neighbors. Lived on the ground floor across the street. Had the entire floor to themselves. They were bankers before the war, before the racial laws. Our families were close. Mr. Lang studied together with my father, and they used to partner in some business. Lotte was the same age as me. Our parents knew each other, we were both girls, and we lived right next door. Was it even possible for us to not end up best friends? It sounds stupid now, talking about a friendship between children, but we were close, like sisters.
But it didn't last.
I guess we're going inside.
Remember when
Yeah.
things changed. Not exactly. You don't really see those things when you're a kid. Slowly, our parents became weird around each other. Different.
Wait, why is she not saying this? Okay, let's skip.
Were enacted.
Oh, we're going back here.
My mother, she forbade me from seeing Lotte. Said she was a bad influence. That I shouldn't associate with her element. We got into
Element.
an argument. No, that's not right. I had a tantrum. I was 8, so any sort of lip from me was a tantrum.
And did you stop?
No, not at first. Not for a while. We tried to keep together. Mostly at school, away from our parents. Then our classmates started whispering. Then the older and younger kids, the teachers. And little by little, I abandoned her.
Well, yeah.
Other than me, she'd never
Guess
had
that's
many
how it
friends. With me
could have
gone-
happened.
With me gone, she was alone. It was hard at first. It hurt. Lotte was my friend, and I left her. I knew it was wrong, but I still did. I was angry, embarrassed. With my mother, with the teachers, with everyone, including myself. But again, little by little as time passed, that's the worst part. It became normal. I remember one time a few years later, I was on my way back from school. Wasn't far from home, just the next street over. I heard it before I saw it. 3 older boys from school in Hitlerjugend uniforms. And Lotte. You can guess what they did. She was on the floor. They kicked her on the alley, spit on her, called her. I was there. I should have said something, done something. I don't know.
But you didn't.
They noticed me, confronted me. Confronted. Now that's rich. They didn't even have to threaten me. I ran away anyway. I didn't see her after that. Not until the night.
The night? What happened at the night?
The dogs woke me up. They started barking as soon as the cars pulled in. It was the middle of the night, 2 or 3 in the morning. I saw them from my window, lining up in front of the lungs. They kicked the door in. I herded them out like animals.
Deportation, we could say so.
Otto was the last one. I know how it sounds, but before disappearing into the van, for just a moment, she turned towards me, as if she knew I was there.
I see. Miss Katz, would you say then that this work, what we're doing here, is personal for you?
Hard to say, I guess, yes and no.
It's hard to say at this point. I do believe that our work here being right, being just, should be enough reason on its own to do it. But is just that why I'm here? I'm not sure.
I see. I must say I find that disappointing. Miss Katz, I cannot overstate this enough. This isn't and cannot be about you. Or about me, for that matter. Or Mr. Peters, Miss Fisher, Mr. Wohlmuth, anybody here. Nor should it be about your friend, as tragic as her story is. We are not heroes here. Our goal isn't to avenge, heal, or redeem, neither the dead nor the living. Our task, our duty, is much greater than that. We are prosecutors, and what we do is we see justice done. We make sure that all actions have consequences. That's the only way we can stop all of this from happening again. That is why I want to see you in court tomorrow, not to make it up to your friend, nor to ease your guilty conscience, nor even to give Miss Kazmirek or her family their closure. The one reason you should stand in that courtroom tomorrow is to see justice done, to uphold the law, because that is our duty.
Yeah, we will uphold the law. So is that it? Prepare for court.
I still need to get Paula to prepare the indictment.
To Paula, okay.
Miss Katz,
Yes,
As ready as I'll be.
isn't that always the truth?
indeed.
I'll start writing the indictment to send tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm still here for a few hours, just in case you want to. Thank you, Lord, for Mr. Bauer's stance on overtime pay.
There's
Okay.
nothing left for me to do.
So I guess, yeah,
I should
let's
call it a day.
go home and let's start the court.
It's time.
I actually don't feel ready, and I think I got something wrong, but I don't know, we'll see. This Wolfgang, his involvement is there, definitely, but I just don't understand yet how exactly. And I don't know if I got the officer right this time or not, so I don't know. We'll see.
Order. This court is now in session. Judge Ernst Braun presiding, considering the case of Anna Kazmirek. Speaking for the prosecution, counsel Esther Katz. Representing the defendants Wagner and Becker, counsel Rudolf Scham. And counsel Sigmund Hauptner, representing the defendants Grunewald and Kirchmann. I ask the prosecution to present their theory. Ms. Katz, The floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anna Kazmirek was a barely 19-year-old girl who had just lost everything she could call hers. She was the only daughter of a sickly widow and the only one who could provide for both of them. She had friends, she had a boyfriend. She had dreams, hopes. She had a future. We are not here today to debate the accusations against her or the possibility of her guilt. We are here because of the crimes against her. On the morning of October 20th, 1944, 2 officers of the Schutzpolizei arrived at the temporary lodgings of Anna Kazmirek. The reason behind their visit was an anonymous phone call made earlier that same morning. The caller had reported a theft, naming Miss Kazmirek as the perpetrator.
I guess, yeah, let's do it like this.
This anonymous caller was Emilia Becker. Anna Kazmirek was tortured and killed because Emilia Becker reported her to the police.
I'd never. What is the meaning of this?
The meaning is you'll finally get what you deserve.
Order!
Mr. Chairman, I must object. Miss Katz has yet to present any tangible proof backing her claims. Yes, there are testimonies, of course. But they are contradictory and unreliable.
You're right.
According to Emilia Becker, it was in fact Mr. Kirchmann who made the call.
Even if true, that in itself would not constitute a criminal act. He would be merely fulfilling his civil duty.
Naturally. Now, he and Miss Grunewald would disagree, of course. But Mr. Kirchmann was the boyfriend, Miss Grunewald the best friend, and both made their prejudice against Mrs. Becker clear, rendering their accusations hardly reliable.
Objection sustained. Unless Miss Katz can substantiate.
I can.
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
At least try. Let's maybe go to our conclusion. Who beat Anna for confession? What? This doesn't make any sense. Why is this one we're talking now? Who the heck called? You know? What the heck? Prove that Emilia Becker called the police. Well-dressed girl, tall boy with 2 claiming to have been the callers. And we're welcomed by a surprisingly well-dressed girl and a tall boy. The pair will let us and informed that the suitcase. I took the suitcase and I was not aware. Well, this says that the boy basically called. I do not know. Let's go with this.
I don't see how this. Let's proceed. Miss Katz?
During the interrogation of Miss Kazmirek, the officers recovered a suitcase hidden in a room. It matched the description of the stolen items provided in the phone call. As you have heard, however, some of the witnesses claim that said suitcase was planted.
Let's go with our
It
approach.
is the prosecution's belief that this was the case. Taking advantage of the chaos created by the officers, the accused Emilia Becker entered the victim's room and placed there the would-be stolen suitcase.
I saw her do it! Becker, you snake!
Order! Order!
Objection. Mr. Chairman, nobody had to hide anything. The officers found the suitcase in Miss Kazmirek's room because Miss Kazmirek hid it there. We must not forget that she was found guilty. She confessed to her crime. Surely Miss Katz isn't trying to deny that.
Miss Katz, your response? Is there anything you can say to prove the defense wrong?
Of course.
Certainly.
So, well, I have 2 basically conclusions. Who planted the suitcase? I don't know, we can try to combine these.
I don't see how this.
Oh. I failed? Damn, what the heck? Oh my. Okay, well, I don't know. I do want to do the last case, definitely. Epilogue. Let's continue, but can we load a game? The outcome. Wait. All of the evidence suggests that he was the one calling. Because we'll call the police on Anna, this one. Then... Wait, where was it? Suspects? So it was this one that he was on the phone. Becker used a common phone to report Anna to the police. Transcripts. Let's use maybe her transcript. But
This
I
makes sense.
think both of them like did this. She planted this. We searched Anna's room. We made sure Anna was considered a traitor. We beat Anna for a confession. Well, yeah, other things I think kinda are make sense. Okay, so let's start from now on. So, Kirchmann.
This caller was none other but the accused Wolf Kirchmann, the girl's boyfriend.
What?
Leaving his motivation aside for the moment, it is because of his call that the police became interested in the victim. Because of his accusations. Anna Kazmarek was tortured and killed because Wolfgang Kirchmann reported her to the police.
That's right. He wanted to get rid of her.
What? I knew it. You're just the same as the rest of those
Order.
He's not saying anything, huh?
Mr. Hauptner?
According to Mr. Kirchmann, the person to make the call was the accused Emilia Becker, who, as we learned from our witnesses, made no secret of her distaste for the victim. Having learned of the crime, Mrs. Becker did what she believed was right. She called the police to inform them of her suspicions,
Mr. Chairman, I have to...
which in itself does not constitute a criminal act.
Ah.
So I must ask, why should we consider the prosecution's theory of more probable?
Objection sustained. Unless Miss Katz can substantiate her claims.
Certainly.
Of course. So, we can try to go with this conclusion, right? It kinda does make sense.
I'm not sure I follow your reasoning here. Is there anything else you can provide?
Proof rejected. We can. The time of the call should be listed somewhere. Well, they are, so select from documents. Okay, let's go with this one then. Submit.
The call in question has been recorded under the number 4410200002 and was made at 10:25. According to the police documentation, the caller was male, leaving us with just one suspect.
What?
The accused, Wolfgang Kirchmann.
You've proven your point, Miss Katz. Objection overruled.
You piece of shit.
Miss Grunewald, this is a court of law.
Tragedy. Tragedy.
But she's onto this as well, right?
During
So
the interrogation of Miss Kazmarek, the officers recovered a suitcase hidden in her room. It matched the description of the stolen items provided in the phone call. As you have heard, however, some of the witnesses claim that said suitcase was planted.
well, I think still Becker did this. Let's go
It
with
is
this.
the prosecution's belief that this was the case. Taking advantage of the chaos created by the officers, the accused Emilia Becker entered the victim's room and placed there the would-be stolen suitcase.
I saw her do it. Becker, you snake.
Order. Order.
Objection. Mr. Chairman, nobody had to hide anything. The officers found the suitcase in Miss Kazmirek's room because Miss Kazmirek hid it there. We must not forget that she was found guilty. She confessed to her crime. Surely Miss Katz isn't trying to deny that.
Miss Katz, your response? Is there anything you can say to prove the defense wrong?
Yes.
Certainly.
Let's go through normal documents, maybe. So, we have record of interrogations. Heidi. Lawyer claims somebody planted the suitcase. Emilia. The officers arrived and started. Emilia used the distraction to plant the suitcase in Anna's room. As the officers I tried to learn what they were investigating, I paid no mind to Emilia and didn't first realize she has entered Anna's room and planted the suitcase. I don't know, I could use actually both of these. And what do I have here, for example? A record of interrogation. Can I save the game now? No. Okay. It should be, well, it's either this one or this one, but I don't know which one to proceed. Emilia used that distraction to plant the suitcase in Anna's room, and this one says, I realized she had entered Anna's room and planted a suitcase. Let's go with this, maybe.
I don't see how this serves.
What? So I failed again? Okay. Continue. Can I repeat? Why the heck there's no...
Religious people.
Oh my god.
Mrs. Becker's family.
Okay, let's, I don't know, let's check for evidence. Well, I think that Anna did actually take the suitcase. For example, here I was sure the suitcase was yours. Red scarf. This matches here as well. There is, where is this? Red scarf, here we go. So, I don't know. Suitcase was recovered. Well, yeah, we do know this. Master required administration. Suitcase was recovered. What else? Own confession. Given freely. But it doesn't make sense. Weak-willed. Damn, I don't know. Okay, let's aim for the approach where basically no one planted this in this the suitcase there. So because she kinda is writing here the letter that she thought that the suitcase was her mother, and it is not a confession but a letter. So then there is a red scarf mentioned here as well. So I don't know, the only additional file that I'm finding is, well, Wagner saying the girl must have planted it there herself, must put it there herself. So I don't know, let's try to go with this as evidence.
Now I can see it.
Good, and then no one planted basically this, and that's how it should be. Kirchmann called the police, no one said it. I guess how it was is that Becker like convinced Kirchmann, well, Wolfgang, that she did steal that suitcase from someone, blah blah blah, and that it's her case and she was looting, while actually, well, Anna just thought it was her suitcase, and that's what happened. I think that's how it was. So I think actually that Kirchmann could have made sure that Anna was considered a traitor as well. I'm not sure regarding this. Well, it was definitely Becker who beat Anna. Yeah, I do not know. What did he say, Kirchmann? Well, definitely won't say that. After finding the suitcase, I was accosted by the pudgy girl and the young man who reported multiple other crimes to the suspect. Okay, let's try this approach. I don't know, let's save this. Maybe eventually this might be right, so we'll see.
Miss Kat, is out in the meantime? I'm still here for a few hours. Thank...
There's nothing left. It's time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anna Kazmirek was a barely 19-year-old girl who had just lost everything she could call hers. She was the only daughter of a sickly widow and the only one who could provide for both of them. She had friends, she had a boyfriend.
Okay, we listened to this before, so let's again go assign the Kirchmann that he did call.
Object, having learned.
Blah blah blah. So we interrupt, we prove it by stating. Wait, prove that Kirchmann called the police? Wait, where are the timestamps? Why are they not here this time? What the heck? This one does make sense. Amelia Becker. Wait, what else could prove it? Do I have any other proof? Because this doesn't look like a decent proof, actually. Where the following anonymous call at... this should have been it, I guess. Let's try to combine these.
The call in question, as we can see in the police report, was made earlier that morning at 10:25. At the same time, a particularly meticulous neighbor had noticed somebody occupying the shelter's phone. A soldier boy who was friends with the Kasmarek woman.
What?
The accused, Wolfgang Kirchmann.
You've proven your point, Miss Katz. Objection overruled.
You piece of shit.
Miss Grunewald,
okay, good. So
this is a court of
I
law.
did this good now.
Tragedy.
You snake.
Let's proceed, Miss Katz.
During the interrogation of Miss Kasmarek, the officers recovered a suitcase hidden in a room. It matched the description of the stolen items provided in the phone call. As you have heard, however, some of the witnesses claim that said suitcase was planted.
Yeah, I guess no one planted it. So let's just go with this.
It is the prosecution's belief that this was not the case. The suitcase was found in Miss Kasmarek's room because she had brought it there. Which is not to say we believe the accusations that were levied against her. It is our stance that the suitcase in question belonged to Miss Kasmarek and her mother.
I see. Does the defense have anything to add in this question?
No, Mr. Chairman. For once, I would say Miss Katz seems to have it right.
I have to disagree. The question of the suitcase appears to be crucial to this case, and it needs to be given the proper scrutiny. As such, I'm surprised the prosecution has chosen to disregard the testimonies of two witnesses. According to both Mrs. Grunewald and Mr. Kirchmann, the supposedly looted suitcase was planted in the victim's room. Planted by Mrs. Becker, while the victim was being interrogated by the police.
Miss Katz, your response?
Yes, I do have one.
Is there anything you...
Certainly.
So let's go with our conclusion that we had prepared. I think this should kind of work. Let's do that.
Miss Kasmarek admitted to having taken the suitcase not only in her testimony, questionable as it was.
They made her say it!
We did no such thing, Mr. Chairman.
But also in her final letter to her mother.
What?
In it, she specifies she had believed it to be theirs because of a characteristic red scarf. The same scarf is described in the evidence form for the recovered suitcase.
Miss Katz, you've proven your point. Objection overruled.
Bullcrap! It was Becker! It had to be.
As if she brought it all on herself.
Please continue, Miss Katz.
Halfway through their interrogation, one of the officers left for the victim's room and searched it for the suitcase in question. It is possible that, having found it, this officer could have left the building, placing him away from the crime scene for the events that followed.
Okay, so who searched Anna's room? Yeah, I think it was Novak. Let's go with
The
that.
officer in question was the deceased Klaus Novak.
Objection. According to Mr. Wagner, he was the one to search the room.
It
Why
is
has
his
the
own claim.
prosecution decided to distrust the words of an officer of the law?
Miss Katz, if you have any proof...
I do have.
Mr. Chairman.
So let's go with it. Let's prove it to conclusion if it's okay. I'm not sure. Amelia Becker, Heidi Grunwald. How does this one match? I don't know, but let's try.
I'm not sure I follow your reasoning here. Is there anything else you can provide?
I'm not sure, but somebody must have seen the person who left with the suitcase. Yeah, let's try again. Select from documents. Ah, it was her, right? Wait, what did she say? They came for that girl. Finally, I never trusted her. Turns out she's a good-for-nothing thief. A looter, the kind of ostracised, said there's a difference. Showed me the suitcase she took. Offered him a cigarette in return, which he gladly accepted. But yeah, let's go with this then.
Mr. Novak has been recognized as the officer who searched the room by multiple witnesses, including one we haven't heard from, Mrs. Hausler, a neighbor of the victim. She had seen and talked with him as he left the scene with the suitcase in hand.
I must have misremembered that.
Misremembered. Indeed. Mr. Sharp, your objection is overruled. Miss Katz, if you would.
Here, I need to bring your attention to the crime Anna Kazmirek was sentenced for. That of looting, treason. Yet, as we've heard, the charges the officers had arrived to investigate were merely of theft. How did this change? When did theft become looting?
So now I don't know if it was both Kirchmann and Becker like talking and saying stuff, or if it was only Becker. And that's the question, which I don't know. Let's try to go with Becker only.
It was because of the words of Emilia Becker.
Oh, finally, that's right.
Mrs. Grunewald, I warn you.
Following the retrieval of the suitcase, Mrs. Becker approached the officers and offered a clarification. She claimed the suitcase in question was hers.
I did not.
And had been taken from the ruins of her bombed house, a voluntary evacuated building.
That's right. I heard her say it.
It is the prosecution's position that she knew this would qualify the supposed crime as looting, branding Miss Kazmirek a traitor.
This is madness.
Mrs. Becker did so fully aware of how harsh the verdict would be.
Objection. Why has the prosecution chosen to ignore the testimony of Mrs. Becker? She states clearly that it was Wolfgang Kirchmann who told the officers the suitcase had been looted rather than stolen. That because of him, Miss Kazmirek's charges were elevated to those of looting and treason.
Miss Katz, can you present any proof to support?
Certainly.
Conclusion. Who made sure Anna was considered a traitor? Let's try to go with this. I don't know.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Okay, something else. I'll try. A new law declared a new reason to put people on death row. From this wait, I didn't even have this document. What the heck is this? How can he not see it? That's my question. I don't understand. It is so obvious. Anna doesn't deserve him, and she knows it. That's why she keeps him so close, to keep him from seeing the truth. It's all gone, just like that, in a single moment. My home, my dad's shop, half of the whole building. Gone. It's a miracle we aren't. That's the only way to call it. If not for the Eric's fear of the dark, we had been in that room, and no, I must not think about it. I saw the damn Pollock in the ruins. Okay. What else? From this one? Kirchmann. Well, I don't know. Heidi left to get help while I tried to find something to prove Amelia's lies. She saw Anna loot the suitcase from her ruined home. I don't know, we can try to go with
In her
this.
diary, Mrs. Becker claimed to have seen Miss Kazmirek during the act of the supposed looting.
Oh, for the love of God.
As you can see, she referred to the victim as a Polak, in light of her mother's descent, the topic of which would later be used to justify the harshness of her verdict. Mrs. Becker, may I add, remains the only person claiming to have seen Miss Kazmirek commit any crime.
Thank you, Miss...
And you know what? I do it again.
Okay,
Mrs.
wow.
Becker.
Are you all blind? Are you idiots? So what if the damn suitcase wasn't mine? So what if I embellished it a little bit?
What the heck?
She wasn't some innocent angel, you idiots.
What's wrong with your head?
That damn Polak was a thieving, manipulating whore.
Order. This is a court of law, not some Sunday market, and you will behave accordingly, Mrs. Becker. The same goes for you, Mrs. Grunewald. Now, let the record show that the prosecution has proven their accusation and that the accused has admitted to it. Miss Katz, proceed to your next point.
The final question remains. Today we've heard from 4 witnesses whose recollections of the events varied, to say the least. Yet, they all shared a common point. One event on which all witnesses agreed. Anna Kazmirek did not confess of her own will. Anna Kazmirek was tortured.
I choose Wagner. Let's go
She
with
was
that.
beaten by the accused Otto Wagner, who inflicted significant bodily harm upon the girl, repeatedly assaulting her until she admitted her guilt. She was forced to give a confession that would satisfy the officer, without regard for its veracity.
Objection.
Let's hear it.
The only witness claiming to have seen the perpetrator after the beating is Mr. Kirchmann, and from his testimony, it is abundantly clear that he was not of his right mind. It is the defense's opinion that the testimony of Otto Wagner presents a more plausible course of events. It was the defendant's partner and superior, Klaus Nowak, who tortured the victim. Mr. Wagner himself was unaware of this, as he had already left not only the room, but the apartment itself.
Miss Katz, if you would.
Certainly,
Sure,
Mr.
of
Chairman.
course, I do have it. I think I have prepared a solid conclusion this time, because this says... Well, yeah, I guess... Wait. Following the delivery, the suspect watchmaster required administration of first aid. Must have beaten up the girl so bad he injured the wrist. Record... Wait, do I have something better than this? I thought I did have something additionally. Yes. I will be gone. I only wish there was a place for me. What about the transcripts? The older officer left with the suitcase while the younger began to beat up Miss Kazmirek. So let's go with this. Did I went with this previously? I don't know. Let's combine these.
I'm not sure.
Proof rejected? Okay. There should be evidence of the beating left on the culprit's body. Wait, what if I go with old case? The photos then? What about now?
I remain unconvinced.
What the heck? Violence builds a reputation, somebody must have heard something. Okay. I don't know. Prove that Wagner beat up Anna? The older officer left with the suitcase while the younger began to beat up Mrs. Kazmirek. I think this should be it then, right?
This testimony backs my version, but it's contradicted by the other suspects. I must present something else to prove my point.
Okay. While the younger beat up Miss Kazmirek. Well, this one. Wait, what's written here? I don't know. Well, there is nothing about beating her, I think. So let's go with this arrest report, I think.
According to the police report from Miss Kazmirek's arrest, one of the officers involved had received first aid. As you can see from the photo, the officer in question was Otto Wagner, with his freshly bruised fist. The knuckles, mostly. As if he had just used his fist to repeatedly punch somebody.
Very well. I consider your claims proven.
But I had to.
You had to?
She wouldn't admit it. She just wouldn't. She was guilty. She was. I was just doing the right thing.
Bastard.
Now, before I pronounce the verdict, is there anything else this court should be aware of?
Yes, I believe
There
so.
is, Mr. Chairman.
Let's hear it.
As we've established, it was the accused Wolf Kirchmann who called the police on Miss Kazmarek. What we haven't established is the why. Why would he do that? Weren't they a couple? Weren't they happy?
Oh, it will be more difficult to do that. But am I trying to prove conclusions? Well, I do have some documents. President called the police. Well, I guess this one could work. The girl will die. Let's go with this.
As you can read in this letter, it was part of a plan. A stunt. One where he was to be Anna's savior. But how? Why? In his own would-be dying words. Because he believed Emilia Becker.
It was all her plan. She made it all up.
Oh, get over yourself. You were more than happy to do it.
To teach her a lesson. To scare her. Not this.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Order. Mr. Scham, Mr. Hauptner, you will control your clients. Miss Katz, please continue.
His call was about a theft, a lesser crime, one that he knew she had not committed. It is the prosecution's belief that this is all he ever intended. An incident with the police from which he could save his beloved. That's what Mrs. Becker let him believe was the plan. But herself, she had a different idea. As she wrote in her diary, it was a way to be free of her.
You swore she cheated on me.
Of course she did. She was a whore. You were just too blind to see it. She got exactly what she deserved.
You killed her. You used me to kill her.
I did it for us.
Piece of shit. You both deserve each other.
Silence! This is disgraceful. Mrs. Becker, Hauptmann Kirchmann, you have just admitted to another crime. Furthermore, I find you both, and Mrs. Grunewald to boot, in contempt of court. Now, if we can have some order in here. Miss Katz, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I believe the accused have said it all, Mr. Chairman.
That they have, indeed. I've heard enough. All rise. This court has reached the following verdict. In the case of the defendant Wolfgang Kirchmann...
Hauptmann.
Yes, Hauptmann Wolfgang Kirchmann. Born March 17th, 1924, residing at Buschstraße 34, Bonn. For the crime of false deprivation of liberty through indirect perpetration and a deliberate false accusation, this court finds you guilty.
Good.
As the prosecution proved, Miss Kazmarek was arrested due to the report made by the defendant. The false report, as he was perfectly aware of his accusations being a lie. Defendant Wolfgang Kirchmann, you are hereby sentenced to 3 years of prison. Next in the case of the defendant Emilia Becker. Born December 4th, 1924, residing at Kaiserstraße 11, Brunswick. Considering the damning evidence provided by the prosecution, only one verdict can be justified. Mrs. Becker, this court hereby finds you guilty of the crime of murder through indirect perpetration.
What?
Anna Kazmarek's arrest and the execution were a direct result of your deliberate lies. And, as the prosecution has proven, you had the intent and the base motive of jealousy. With such premeditated actions, this court cannot pronounce
Very nice.
any other verdict.
Very good. That's what she deserves.
No. This isn't possible.
How can she say
I
that
did nothing
she
wrong.
did nothing wrong? What the heck?
Defendant Emilia Becker, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment.
Very nice. Very
And
good.
lastly, in the case of defendant Otto Wagner, born February 23rd, 1918, residing at Georg Westermann Allee 75, Brunswick, for the crime of assault for coercion of confession. This court finds the defendant guilty.
No.
The prosecution has proven beyond reasonable doubt that it was in fact Mr. Wagner, and Mr. Wagner alone.
I had to do it.
Who forced the victim to give her confession through torture. Defendant Otto Wagner, you are hereby sentenced to 3 years in prison.
Only 3 years,
This court is adjourned.
Okay, but finally I did it, right? Investigation only 91%, case solution 96. Okay, so I probably did not provide the best proof, and in investigation, well, yeah, I didn't got all of the evidence that I needed, so I don't know. Yeah, let's read the real case now. 3 days after the bombing of the city, Amelia Becker filed a complaint about stolen property that she had hidden before the air raid. In her complaint, she named Anna Kazmarek, an acquaintance with whom she was in conflict, as a suspect. 2 days later, officers Otto Wagner and Klaus Nowak of the protective police arrived at Anna Kazmarek's temporary lodgings, where they interrogated her. She was beaten and forced to provide a confession. The confession matched perfectly the evidence as outlined in Amelia Becker's complaint and was significantly different from the actual events, which would be confirmed by multiple witnesses decades later. Within 24 hours, based solely on her confession, Anna Kazmarek was charged and tried with looting under the Ordinance Against Public Enemies, commonly called the People's Pest Law. Despite her lack of previous criminal history, the absence of any evidence or collaborating testimony, and the positive impression she left on the court, Anna Kazmarek was found guilty and sentenced to death. During the trial, none of the available witnesses for the defense were called, and no attempt to question Anna Kazmarek's confession was made. On November 23, 1944, at 12:07 p.m., Anna Kazmarek was executed by guillotine in Wolfenbüttel. In the years 1952-1966, there has been 5 attempts to overturn Anna Kazmarek's verdict. All were unsuccessful. It will only be in 1991 that Anna Kazmarek's case was reopened for the final time. For the first time, witnesses on whom the previous courts refused to call were allowed to testify. They all confirmed Anna Kazmarek's innocence. On March 20, 1991, almost 47 years after her execution, 47 years, Anna Kazmarek was acquitted. There was no condemnation of the original trial. All names used in the game have been changed. Similarities with the real persons bearing these names are purely coincidental. But the story remains true, and is one of many. Wow. Interrogation skills. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, I did mess up something, so that's why probably I didn't receive the
It's awesome.
one additional document.
So small. So human. How else should one describe it? Human pettiness given power. Jealousy, insecurity, naivety. A system that's so desperately needed to show strength, no matter the facts. Mrs. Becker remained defiant in the face of the verdict. So what if she lied? So what if the girl was innocent? She had it coming, she yelled, as the guards escorted her out. I'm told that year's Christmas at the Wolfenbüttel Women's Prison was quite an event for the incarcerated. It was in no small regard due to the exemplary work of inmate Becker, who volunteered to help organize it. This sort of activism would take up most of her time, as she took it on herself to return the women there to the Lord. To say Mr. Wagner cried at the verdict as laughably lenient as it was would be an understatement. He bawled, like a little boy. He claimed he was told that she was guilty, that without a confession she'd get away with it, that it had to be done. That's what they all did. It had to be right. And all Otto Wagner ever wanted was to do right. It must be said that Mr. Kirchmann accepted his verdict with dignity. A rare enough occurrence when it comes to our cases. Still, he couldn't bring himself to look his former friends in the eyes. He served his time dutifully, a model prisoner in all regards, with almost no incidents to speak of. It remains unclear how the belt found its way into Wolfgang Kirchmann's hands, or how he hid it from the guards. What is known is that by the time he was found during the morning rally, there was not much point in calling the doctor. He left no letter. Mrs. Grunewald and Mr. Hens were quick to celebrate the verdict, quick and loud. They ended up having to be escorted out of the courtroom. But Mrs. Hens, Teresa Hens, didn't join in their enthusiasm. Yes, some justice for Anna was achieved, that's true. But after all, justice was not what she had wanted. What she had really wanted was the impossible. Her daughter back. Why are we here? Why do we pick at these old wounds? Why don't we let the past be? It is because it would be too easy to choose to forget, to ignore, to stay silent. And isn't that how we got here in the first place? Acceptance by silence. The silence of the people who all partook in the system that killed her. A system they created and agreed to. They lived in it, obeying, upholding, and empowering its rules. A system that without them couldn't exist. Yes, we cannot undo what has already happened. We cannot undo Miss Kaczmarek's death, but we must learn from it. To choose the truth and not the lie. Justice, not injustice. Right instead of wrong. So no other girl shares the fate of Anna Kaczmarek.
Okay, good. So we did finally seen the justice, well, yeah, I guess we did complete the game as this is the epilogue. So that's nice. What we only needed
Hello?
3
Anybody here?
chances at the court to finally be able to solve it. Do we go to our own room?
There's something in my inbox. Paula must have been here already.
Okay, what's that? Oh.
Esther Katz?
Miss Katz, this is Bauer. Could you come to my office, please?
Oh, so you are here at least. I was wondering where everyone had gone. Is this about a new case?
Let's not talk about it over the phone.
Sure, I'm on my way.
Is he shutting down this unit? What's happening?
Miss Katz, we need to talk about the future of this department. We will change the way we are working. And I'm afraid you won't get your own cases anymore.
Why?
Why is that?
It has nothing to do with your performance. Are you familiar with the case Peters has been working on?
Yeah.
The blank suspension's already signed?
Exactly. A witness gave us documents that the SS wanted to destroy just before the end of the war. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, they did not succeed in burning all of them. These documents prove that certain judges gave blanket acquittals for the killing of camp inmates. Of course, we always knew that the tens of thousands of people who were supposedly shot on the run were in fact systematically murdered. The Nazi state tried to maintain the appearance of legality until the very end. The problem of Auschwitz, you would probably agree, did not begin at the gates of Auschwitz and Birkenau. People had to be brought there, which means there were many, many perpetrators. There was an entire system behind it. With these documents, we could finally succeed in bringing the Auschwitz system to justice. Not only those who actively carried out the killings, or those who gave the orders at the very top, who are either dead or somewhere in South America today, but also those who kept the system running that made it all possible. The desk murderers. We will bring them to justice. Together. That's why I can't give you any more cases. I need everyone to help with this one. We will bring Auschwitz to court.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
Thank you for your trust.
Good. Several packages arrived from Poland. These are more lists of the kind Peters found. I asked Paula to put them on your desk.
Speaking of which, where is everybody?
Paula has an appointment. Mr. Peters is at court and Mr. Wohlmuth is visiting relatives in Munich. So it's you and me today. Best you get to work. There is a lot to do.
Will do.
Okay. So we go to our office and we read these documents.
What do we have here? Even more of these, of course. How did you all actually die? How did they kill you?
That's a question,
and here's our good friend. That's a new one. Time to expand the suspect list. Wait, this one... I know this one. No.
Is that her father? Yeah, cats.
Oh God. What do I do now?
Damn. Okay. Call father, I guess, and ask him about that.
Do I really want to warn Dad? He was clearly involved in it, but he's also...
Oh, but no, I don't want to warn him.
Do I really want to... He was clear, but he's also...
What warning him would will do, so let's inform Mr. Bauer, I don't know.
Miss Katz.
Mr. Bauer?
What is it? Found something in the files?
I think he already knew that. He just wanted to see if he can trust me.
It's about my dad. He...
The Auschwitz execution files, recovered in 1945 from a burning courthouse in Breslau, proved crucial in establishing Frankfurt's court jurisdiction over the Auschwitz complex. The files contained lists of prisoners shot in 1942 during alleged escape attempts and named 37 members of the SS as the shooters. With their names now known, the prosecution was able to find over 1,500 witnesses whose testimony served to disprove the validity of those files. The first Frankfurt Auschwitz trial began on December 20th, 1963. Over the next 20 months, more than 300 witnesses testified to the daily atrocities of the Auschwitz concentration camp. For many Germans, this was their first in-depth look into the horrifying daily routine of the extermination machinery at Auschwitz. The vast majority of the accused present at the proceedings showed little to no remorse. On August 19, 1965, over 20 years after the end of World War II, the first Frankfurt Auschwitz trial came to a close. 2 more followed. On July 1st, 1968, A month after the last of the trials, Fritz Bauer was found dead in his apartment in Frankfurt. He was 64.
That's it? Anything else? Okay, the characters are fictional, but the cases they worked on are not. Well, yeah, the names of real prosecutors who worked with the Fritz Bauer and the first Frankfurt trials are... Okay. We can make heaven out of earth, but each of us can do something to prevent it from becoming hell. Bauer. Okay. Quite cool actually game, The Darkest Files. I did enjoy playing this game actually. Yeah, very nice game, well related to history definitely, and what happened after the war, and well, with all of the justice system, and well, from the legal perspective. That's nice. Yeah, I did definitely like the game. So yeah, this will be it from me. Thank you for watching, and see you then on other games. Bye.